Hello everyone, we are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are picking up right where we left off at the conclusion of the last episode. Just again making sure of my sound levels. Yes, they are good. I've been guilty of that one before, and I suppose right away what's being noticed is although this is the same satellite that we inserted into a geostationary or keostationary orbit, sorry, from last episode. Yeah, some things have changed in the background. I now have, I guess there's a connected series of links that got me putting this in, but the short of it is that I now have the Astronomer's pack installed that works with environmental visual enhancement. It changed the skybox. So it is, I think, gorgeous, but it is very busy. And also, I don't know about you, but I'm getting a slight flicker when I do that on my monitor. I'm not sure if that's coming through on the stream or not. I hope that it's not, but it kind of bugs me a little bit. I don't know if maybe it's a resolution thing, what I had the resolution of my monitor at. I don't know. It also adds, you can barely see them, auroras on the north and south poles. Oh good, Travis saying no flicker here. North and south poles of Kerbal there that you can't really see right now, but some point we'll probably go over into a polar orbit and we'll see how that goes. And the reason why that ended up getting installed is because actually this is a whole fresh install of KSP. You might recall last episode when I was on the moon, I was having trouble with all of the terrain scatter that Parallax puts on, finding some moonstone, which I had a contract to retrieve. And somebody suggested going into the console menu, going to the breaking ground tab, and hitting the surface features and turning on this surface feature finder tab, and it didn't work. And because it was a live stream, I didn't fiddle with it all too much. Turned out there is some wacky bug going on where if you upgrade the game and I honestly don't know the trap, but it had something to do with the save. It had nothing to do with the mods. So what I did is I put in a completely fresh install of KSP, transferred over the save, and while I was putting in all new mods, I said, oh, Astronomer's pack. Yeah, I should throw that in too. So that's why the Astronomer's pack is in this one. Now, I hope people like it. It certainly is stunning, that's for sure. But anyway, also, actually, while I'm on the console menu, as I was doing my explore as to why this surface feature finder thing wasn't working, I discovered some other things as well. Of course, now I'm going to have to, I got a flight info. Look at this! Longitude and latitude of my current object. I mean, that's useful. I was just talking about that towards the end of the last stream to install this fella so it was above a certain waypoint. And I said, oh, you need to get Kerbal Engineer for that. No, you don't. It's right here. It's in the, and what was, oh yeah, the other thing was, and this is in cheats, I think. Yes, you got make the biomes visible, and boink, there are all the biomes on Kerbal, and, well, oh, the moon's right there. It's showing the biomes on the moon. Maybe a little bit too powerful. It would be nice if there was more of an in-game way other than installing mods that change the gameplay, which I don't want to do. But I was looking for biomes last time, and oh my goodness, if you're ever in a situation, I mean, it's a bit of a cheat, but then again, so is looking up a biome map online, which is what I would typically do if I didn't have any mods installed. So anyway, here is the plan for today. I want to take this satellite that I installed, and I took the effort of, we've satisfied the contract, that's done, but I put in some extra fuel and I put on these relay antennas, the HG-5 relay antennas, because I want to take this antenna and I want to, this satellite, I want to shuffle it over towards the moon. So that's going to be job one, where it will act. I already have one relay in orbit about the moon. There it is. Why don't we put on the communication lines so you can actually... There they are. I got one relay in orbit about the moon, so I want to add ultimately 3 to form, put them equally spaced in this orbit. So I want to shuffle this relay over to the moon, put it in an appropriate position, so we'll talk about all of that kind of stuff. And that way, I get to reuse this as a relay satellite. It's certainly not the easiest way to get relays about planets. It's much, much easier to launch fresh ones all in a group. Maybe I'll do that sometime. Maybe I'll do that around Mimis or something. But I don't like when you have these satellites just floating around not doing anything. So I want to do something with it. And then I got a second contract. Let me open up the Contracts Plus window to repair a satellite in orbit about Kerbal. It has a broken solar panel. And this satellite, if I go into map view, oh, I'm still focused on, and I think I need to put on my satellites here. There they are. There it is there, this damaged satellite out here. So what we need to do to fix it is we got to send an engineer out there. So that's going to be involving building an entirely new craft that is capable of going out there and doing the necessary repair. And you know what we're going to do at the same time? We're going to use our engineer to do some orbital construction, and we're going to modify that satellite so it is appropriate to also be a moon relay, and that should give me 3 moon relays. So that is kind of the plan, but why don't I get rid of this Contracts Plus window? And for those people that are new to the series, just to sort of explain it, the whole premise of this series is it's beautified stock. So it is completely a stock in terms of parts, in terms of gameplay. I don't have anything that changes the way the game works. Everything I do here you can do in the stock game as well with no mods whatsoever, but I installed a ton of mods, not a ton, the whole list is down there in the description, but a bunch of mods to beautify stock and also to improve the UI part, like for instance having this Contracts Plus window instead of the stock contracts. But anyway, let's get ourselves to the moon. That is the plan. So let's turn off this and this and set the moon as a target. And let's see here. This is going to be a fair amount. Thankfully, this orbit, being Keos, is right. It has a 0 inclination, so getting a moon intercept should be actually pretty trivial. And again, I hopefully budgeted this well enough. So, boomity, 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 boom. There we go. And we're going to focus our view here on the moon. Oh, I guess I do need to see that relay. And right now, actually, my flicker is really, really, really bad on my monitor. I'm hoping it's not coming across on the stream. If it is, let me know in the chat. Welcome, Dare. I'm glad you were able to catch this stream. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, I'm doing a maneuver. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so we need to, let's first see if I can get it just with adjusting the timing. Oh my god, that's way too little timing. Always play with the timing first so that if you can do some more retrograde, there we go. Oh, that's not getting an intercept at all, so that's no good. Okay, moving the timing to, I'm so used to low Kerbal orbit where the timing is a big deal. And I want my periapsis to just touch, like this here is my target really. I want my periapsis to just touch the target orbit there. Let's see if we can dial this out. Doing it again for as little cost as I can because I am a cheap SOB. I gotta be in the, and the slower, just to put this out here, the slower my moon intercept, which means the more look how much of this arc is already in the moon's SOI, and the more I can take off this burn, the more of this arc is still in the moon's SOI, and the more closer I am, the cheaper my capture will end up being. So I'm really, whoops, might have been a little too far there. I don't think I'm too far at all. Whoops. You know, maybe I should... I always say maybe I should stop, and then I never do. More retrograde. The more retrograde, the better. Let's see. I must be getting pretty close to as much as I can get away with. As long as I can get it closer with the timing, that means I can do it cheaper. But I think I'm calling it. But look how close I am to a capture already. I'm already at it. So this capture is going to be trivially nothing. So all we're aiming for here is just to have the periapsis right there, just above. I notice a little bit of a plane issue coming up here, and that burn's coming up in just a couple of hours. So why don't we just do that? So I always F5 before some massive time warping. And 9 second. Do I have this turned down at all? No, I don't. Okay. So let's go. Let's go. Yeah, KSP2 conversation going on there. Yeah, all in good time, I think, is a good way. To me, and I've tried to do more KSP2 type of content, but I find it just very frustrating because the bugs eat my ships. I don't like having bugs eating my ships. And I also like to play more of a career type of mode. I guess that shouldn't surprise anybody given what my live streams are like. I like building the infrastructure and going through a campaign as opposed to just, well, let's just build something to go here and let's just build something to go here and let's just build a cool plane. That won't hold my interest for too terribly long. Okay, I need to get ready here. So getting that onto our vector. Well, let's start. I just won't go to full throttle. The timing of this isn't super crucial. Oh, this is not. Oh, I forgot how unbalanced this dopey thing is. I should really just turn down the thrust. Yeah. Okay, we'll go really low here. Oh, I already overdid that a little bit. Oopsie doodle. Let's turn down the throttle. Turn down the throttle and flip it around. The reason why it's unbalanced is because I got this mystery goo here. I didn't think it'd make a big deal, but it is putting it. I should have put it on the top. That would have fixed the balance issue. And notice I'm not even using the mystery goo because there's nothing really to collect and transmit. Been out here before. Same with the materials bay, but they're there because the contract asked for it. I mean, why else would they be there? Okay, let's push this periapsis out just a little bit. There. Now with the thrust turned down, this is much easier. There we go. That's pretty good. Reorient this. All right, so when are we going to be at the moon here? We're going to be at the moon in just a couple... Oh, no, that's our exit of the moon. Sorry. We'll be there in a day and an hour. You know what I'm going to do? We'll come back here in just a second, but I do want to just very quickly, it's been a little while since I've checked. I just want to take a look at any available contracts that may have come up. I got to start picking up more contracts. Dying to Play is asking, what did he miss so far? Not a lot. We're taking our satellite we put in geostationary orbit last episode, and we are shuffling it over to the moon where it'll act as another relay. And I'm just doing a quick look at contracts. These are probably ones I won't get to. Another build one. Outpost on the moon, it might be a little early for that. Surveys of Kerbal, explore Kerbal. Oh, transfer any crew between vessels near Kerbal. That sounds like a good excuse. I want to get in. I'd always love building space station. Oh, look at this. Build a new orbital station around Kerbal. Okay. 5,000 units of electric charge. I always find these kind of requirements a little silly. Have to support at least 6... yeah. We're going to save that one for the future and do a crew transfer. Might as well grab that at the same time. I'm not repositioning my Moon Relay 1 because it is in the perfect position where it is. Why would I want to change that? Oh! Yeah, do a simple scan with the rover arm of a baobab tree. I like that idea, and that will test whether I have the And a position, no, I'm done with positioning satellites. This will get me my 3 moon relays and I'm happy. I'm happy. Now, are there any of those? I'm looking at these conduct atmospheric surveys of Kerbal. Above. No, I'm not going to grab if there were 3 of them. If there was just one above, I would show you a cheap way to do that. These are a pain when they're above this much, because the low-tier jets can't reach this altitude without significant help. I think I'm good. I think I'm good for contracts. Okay, let's get back. Back. Moon Relay 2. I'm seeing I got as much, not me, the person was talking about themselves, but I'm going to apply that to me as well, is saying I got as much creativity as a toaster. That's why I don't like Sandbox. I'm kind of the same way. I'm not that, you know, I don't consider myself to be that creative a person. I like to have an objective, and then the vessels always are formed towards the objective rather than the other way around. I'm setting up an alarm for this SOI change. There we go. So that's coming up in a day and an hour and 23 minutes. I'm going to keep an eye on that alarm here. Okay, and then because I want to watch from here. I don't know about you, but this is pretty. And we'll put it on free so it's even prettier. There we go. Okay. On our way to the moon, we should be seeing the moon coming at us. Actually, let's put it in orbit. Orbit view. There we go. Moon should be coming from behind us, right? Should be. Somewhere. Somewhere there's the moon. Spoiling our nice geostationary orbit. Oh, I can time warp more. Well, Slush Puppy is asking about a synchronous orbit. A synchronous orbit's not quite the same thing as a geostationary orbit. It's an orbit that returns to the same position on a regular period. And they can come in different flavors, those orbits, as far as I can understand. So I'm sorry if I'm not much help here, but do they not in the contract give you an orbit to shoot for? I would just say put it in the orbit they tell you to put it in. But I don't know. I don't know if I've ever done one of those types of contracts. Okay, where's the moon? Where are you, moon? Should be coming from behind us. Okay, why am I blind? Oh my God, there you are. Okay. Okay, so now I need to find, there we go. Just crossed into the moon's SOI. So now what I need to do is to get a capture. Let's focus this on the moon. And eventually I want to end up inserting myself into this orbit. But if I set this back as a target and add a maneuver here, I don't want to just insert myself into this orbit here. And notice that this is giving me my target at what do we got here? This is our closest approach, and this is where our target's going to be. So if I just did a capture here, what it's going to end up doing is, you know, we'll be here, and this satellite will be here. I don't want that. Nor do I want to actually rendezvous with that satellite. I want to be a third of an orbit from that satellite. Now you can. Should I? Yeah, I think I'm going to just do this by guesstimating. I could do a whole bunch of calculating, try and figure out, well, the angle's about here, 180 degrees. I would like it to be 120 degrees. So that's going to be about 60 degrees difference. And 60 degrees in a period, I'm pretty sure this is in a period of 3 hours. Let's go. I'm going to switch to it just real quick and check what its period is. Sorry, I'm doing... Its period is 3 hours. Okay. So let's go back to our other relay. Yeah, oh yeah, phase angles, of course, phase angles, thank you. Well, the phase angle right now is not really of much use because it's giving you the phase angle of where you are now. What I'm really interested in, what's the phase angle going to be? The phase angle, by the way, is here. What the phase angle is going to be when I'm down there. But 60 degrees, 3 hours, so 60 degrees is about a sixth, so about half an hour. So I want my period... Oh, I'm just going to eyeball this to be... Let's go back to the maneuver. The period of this one is 3 hours. This one I want to have more than 3 hours so that this target will have a chance to catch up to us. It's always a question of how much more. And so what I'm going to do, with absolutely no credibility whatsoever, it should be telling me my period, my predicted period here. There it is give myself... It would be 30 minutes. In other words, 3 hours and 30 minutes. If this angle here were exactly 180 degrees, but it's a little less than that. So I don't want to drift back that. I'm going to go for 3 hours and 25 minutes. And I'm really shooting in the dark here. We might tweak this as we get closer and get a better idea what our phase angle is. Shooting in the dark. I do have a video somewhere where I go over the math of all this, where I actually work it out a lot more precisely, but I really don't want to do that live, so I'm just going to eyeball it. So the idea here is to put myself into a slightly higher period, so that will drift backwards relative to this satellite. And if this ends up being wrong, all I got to do is just keep going around until it kind of looks right. So... We're going to go by the seat of our pants. So let's get down towards the moon here. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I just realized something else. Shoot, shoot, shoot. I should get that... get that periapsis down. Whoops. Because the periapsis isn't quite, see how our inclination's wrong? But I can do that. I got the ascending node coming up right here. So if I grab that, why is it putting that maneuver way out? You're a pain in the, you know, a pain in the you-know. What if I put the maneuver, it really doesn't like any of this. Keeps putting them, I don't know, maybe that's right. It's just showing it in a funny spot. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to put the maneuver here, and it shows it over there. But let's see what happens if I actually start pushing this down. Is it making a difference? I don't think it is. No, it's changing stuff out. Okay, fine. We'll eyeball it, you stinker. We're going to eyeball this. So I'm going to time warp to where my ascending node is, and we're going to burn anti-normal. We're going to eyeball you. If you want to be that way, then I'm going to just not pay any attention to you. Yeah, that was weird how the maneuver popped. I think it's because I'm so close to a capture that the game doesn't know whether I'm orbiting the moon or orbiting Kerbal. I think that's really what it is. But what I'm just going to do here is burn anti-normal, so southwards, and just bring this periapsis down. I think, like, we're just going with our eyeballs. Nothing wrong with eyeballs. What's this now at? See that? Yeah. We can use it. We don't need a maneuver. There we go. So we got a relative inclination now of 0. Now I'm going to put this guy here, and we're going to go for, I think I said 3 hours and 25-minute period, shooting completely in the dark. And like I said, I might modify this. There we go. See how this looks. So here's our satellite coming in towards the moon. Watch it from here. And you know, like we all love to get these satellites perfectly positioned, but it certainly isn't necessary. Okay, so you can see how the maneuver or the close approach indicators are working right. You know, when we're here, this guy's going to be here. I'm going to go for the orbit as it says. Now a phase angle, by the way, if I do go to phase angle, is getting close. Now it'll actually, as we approach our maneuver... Oh, I'm pushing the wrong time warpy button. This phase angle... Oh, no, it's not. It's changing. This phase angle is getting close to... I said 100... Oh, now... Yeah, now... Okay, it's less... Pause for a second. Oh, shoot! Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. You know what I just did there, right? When's our last save? I hate... That's why my mistakes are always... Here, let's go back to the mission. I just time warped right past it. And my mistakes are almost always these stupid time warp mistakes. I got one, a persistent one at 3 out here, just a little bit ago. Let's load that. What a rockhead. What a rockhead. That's why I quick save. I gotta quick save more often. I don't quick save enough. But I get my fingers mixed up, and I fumble with my fingers, and then, yeah. Okay, so let's get back to here and here. Where are we at? I already talked through all this, but where are we at? Oh my gosh! Aren't you my friend? Aren't you my buddy? Oh my god, I don't think the game's ever been that nice to me before. Okay. Wow, it did an autosave right there. Aren't you special? Okay, we were watching. Okay, so I am quick saving now. Quick save, there we go. And I am going to be very careful with my time warping. But I was watching this phase angle. And I'm also watching my time to my burn. So let's get to just a few minutes before the burn. I might adjust it a little bit. This is why I'm sort of... So get a few minutes before the burn. Actually, I got a feeling my thrust limiter is still pathetic, right? It sure is. Not that. There we go. Now I got a reasonable length to that burn. There. Okay. So 4 minutes from the burn. And my phase angle's 162 degrees. I was estimating it to be 160, so that ain't bad. So that means I need to drop less than what I think. Less than what I think. So I'm going to actually do down to 120 or 3 hours and 20 minutes on my predicted period. I'm sure it'll be fine. There we go. There's the burn I'm going to perform. Let's just perform this burn. Let's just perform this burn and see what happens. Okay. Spacebar, my greatest enemy in KSP. My greatest enemy in KSP is definitely false time warping. With having my fingers in the wrong spot and think I'm killing the time warp, and instead I'm hitting the period button. I'll say this for KSP too. I make less of those mistakes because I tend to use the little bar that's down here for the time warping, as opposed to... I guess I could use this bar, but I don't know. All right, this is just a burn. And we're going for about a period of 3 hours and about 20 minutes, I think, is what I said. And we'll see how that works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Once you have an orbit, you have all the time in the world to keep fiddling. So, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh yeah, we still got that little bit of a wobbly happening. God, I wish I designed this thing a little better. Okay, where's my period? 3 hours and 20 minutes is all I'm looking at. I guess there's no reason to really be too precise, considering I did no calculating to guess what that period should be. Okay, so we'll put this back. We now have our moon capture. And now the whole goal here, let's get past this node and it'll update. Okay, let's look at this. So stop. So now I've just passed this close encounter indicator. Now when I get back to here, this satellite will be here. I think that, again, I'm using my eyeballs, I think that's pretty close to a third of an orbit. Or 120 degrees. And then when we put the third one, we'll come around here. I think that's going to be close enough. I'm curious to see what my actual, for realsy phase angle is going to be when I get there. But basically what I'm going to do now is just go around. Oh, I might bring my periapsis down a little bit. I'll do that up at apoapsis. But I'm thinking this might work out pretty well. Save! Save, says Trav. There's my quick save. Do you see that? There's my quick save. So I'm just going out to apoapsis here. I'm just going to do this manual-like. No maneuver node. We're going to put this onto the retrograde vector. And the purpose of this guy, let's center this on the moon, is just... My periapsis, I know it's hard to see now that we're far away. You can see it here. There's a little bit of gap. I want to close that gap. That's it. That's all. That's all I want to do. Close that gap. That's it. See? Not a big deal. And so the plan is now... Scroll back out. Put a maneuver here. This is going to be the match orbits. And go for a period of... well, as close as I can get to 3 hours. So there's my predicted period after that. And I'm hoping, again, quick save. I'm hoping when we get there. Thank you very much, NC Davis, for the kind donation. I'm hoping when we get here, I did quick save. See, I think this is working out okay. I don't think my, oh, actually, you know, I'm going to keep the target there because it is giving me a phase angle here. I want the phase angle to be 120 degrees. It's negative. The negative positive thing doesn't matter. 120 degrees in either direction is fine. Okay, so let's just get to where we're just like very close to the burn. And if this is close to 120, I'm going to be very happy. So 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1. Okay, stop. Look at that, 127.4, 23. Like for eyeballing, I'm perfectly ecstatic with that. I'm more than happy. Now we're gonna turn down this thrust limiter again. Turn down, dummy, because the burn time is so low. There, 4-second burn time. Okay, put that onto the retrograde vector. And we will here time warp a bit more. Again, very tiny burn here, just to finish this off. Here, I'll wait till 4 seconds, and then I'll go to half throttle. And put this on the period, because that's the real thing I'm looking at. It's the thing I'm the most concerned with. And I want a period of 3 hours, as close as I can get. There, we'll turn down here. Don't need the maneuver node anymore. Turn down that thrust limiter till it's virtually nothing. Got to take 4 seconds off the period. 3, 2, 1, and boink. And what did I end up for my phase angle? 124.8. I'm going to call that 125. So I'm 5 degrees off from what would be the ideal phase angle. But hell, that ain't bad. I'm not going to complain about that. Let's get out here. Let's remove the target. Untarget that. Let's put on our... So let's see, we're getting a little bit more coverage of the moon. You can see there's still very much a dead spot there, but we'll have that covered soon. And although I got it to the nearest second to have the same period as this satellite, if you really, really want it to have the exact same period as that satellite with no drift whatsoever, Alt F12 is your friend. Go to set an orbit and set this. Oh my gosh, I don't... Oh, you got to set the semi-major axis. Oh, I never wrote the number down. You know what? I'll do it in between, but if you pick a semi-major axis that's exactly... You have to put it on the moon, of course. I'm doing this from... Okay. No, I'm not going to do it from memory. If I knew what the semi-major axis to give me the exact right period, I'll do it between the streams. I won't do it right now. So there we go. That's good. That's good. I'm happy with that. So let's get back to the Space Center. And let's get going with our crewed satellite repair type of mission. So just to show you, I'm not going to show you the satellite, but before you do this mission, let's turn off the, you definitely want to go up here. Let's take the relays off. So there's our satellite. Oh, I got to put the relay. Ever notice that when, there we go. There's our satellite there. So you want to note the orbit that it's in so that you can budget it. You can see that it's just barely beyond the moon's orbit. And so it's going to be another one that's going to be pretty cheap to get a moon, and it's got a very tiny inclination, but getting it to the moon is going to be trivial as far as fuel goes. And I did check it out. It has monopropellant and RCS blocks, and it has a lot of monopropellant. In fact, I worked it out. I'll leave it as a surprise for you to actually see it. So I'm not going to show it to you. But I worked it out, and it has 2,760 meters per second worth of monopropellant aboard and powered by RCS blocks. That's more than enough. Lordy, the people that designed the contract love their RCS blocks. But what that means is if I can get it to be a suitable relay, then that's all I got to do. I can get it over there. So we're going to build a craft that I can put in a couple of kerbals. And, oh, can I switch to the other satellite and see its semi-major axis, this NC Davis? Yeah, I could have. You know what? Why don't we do that? Unfortunately, I'm a little... There is a bit of a lag here. Okay, we're going back and forth now, but I think that's worthwhile just to show people. Thank you, NC Davis. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of a lag in the stream. And, so it takes like 10 to 20 seconds between when I do something to when you're seeing it. So other than having a ridiculously better internet connection, I don't think there's much I can do about that. Let's get out to those relays then. Boop, 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 boop. So if I go to Moon Relay 1, this is what NC Davis is recommending. This is a worthwhile excursion. And if I simply, can I just look at its orbital information? I mean, I can work out its semi-major axis. No, it just gives me that. So it does, I can see it bouncing back and forth here. 37754. 37754 plus semi-major axis includes the radius of the moon. So let me write this down. There is 377,354 meters plus an extra 200 kilometers because that's what the radius of the moon is. Now I can go to this fella, switch to it, There's also a lag with my fingers. A lag with my fingers, that's for sure. Okay. So now, Alt F12. Switch this to the moon. Semi-major axis of 377 plus 200. So that's 577. 354 meters. That'll give it the same semi-major axis as the other vessel. And that should, if I go to here, well, the period won't change. It better not. That'll be my test. So I can just go, oh, wait. Oh, I don't want to do this. I do not want to do this because it's going to change the... I'm glad now I'm doing this because I can stop other people from making the mistake I almost made by pushing... If I change the... If I do this, the mean anomaly, which measures... Which is actually the position of the satellite from its... periapsis, I think? I can't quite remember. Is 0. So it will move this satellite in its orbit and that will mess up its orientation. So I'm not going to do this. I'd have to figure out what the correct mean anomaly is going to be, and I'm not going to do that now. So, you know what? Just live with it. It'll be fine for years. It'll be fine for years. Let's go back to the Space Center. I'm sorry. That was a useless diversion. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't push that because it would have moved the satellite. And all my careful getting it out, you know, about 120 degrees from the other satellite would have just been thrown away. That's not good. Yeah, I have to get the mean anomaly of the other craft and then add or subtract 120 degrees. You know what? I'm just not going there. I'm not going there. Already too much. There's only so much math you can do live before it's just going to be a disaster. Okay, let's build this craft. So I'm going to build this craft around the... Where is it? This guy. The Mark II command pod. This is coming from the Breaking Ground DLC. We'll change... I like it white. I think it looks really good. We'll put 2 Kerbals in here, and our 2 Kerbals are going to be... Who's our... We're definitely Bill, because we need the engineer. Not Jeb. We're going to put Val in there, because she needs... Not that she'll get any experience from this. We need to get Val to the moon. That's why these other 3 are... They landed on the moon, those lucky guys. Anyway. So let's get a parachute on that. And let's get a heat shield under it. Before I'm forgetting anything. Now the one thing is that these capsules that come from the Breaking Ground DLC do not have any monopropellant aboard. So I have to put some external monopropellant because I'm going to want RCS to do some fine maneuvering. I'm also going to take off that flag. I've been noticing the flag's been a little glitchy. I don't like that. Also, we'll do cargo in a little bit. We'll do cargo because we're going to have to bring up a fair amount of cargo, I think. Well, do I? I want to bring up some repair kits because we got to fix the broken antenna on there. Here, let's bring up the contract so you can see it, for goodness sakes. Oh, okay. We got more here because I picked those up. That one can go. So we got to repair a photovoltaic panels, the extendable. You know what's interesting is I find I got to repair something. I got to repair a part. I don't even have that part unlocked. It's the Ox-4L 1x6 photovoltaic panels I got to fix. But in order to do that, I think I need 1 repair kit. But you know what we're going to do because they're not very heavy. They don't take up much space. We're going to put on 4 of them. Now I also want to, I gave myself a list. Yes, I want to make this into a relay satellite, and for that it needs an HG-5 high gain antenna. Oh my gosh, it'll fit right in there. That's excellent. And it actually already has an HG-5. Remember, I told you already, I've been out there already. So this will give it 2 HG-5s, which will make it very good for a relay about the moon. So that's all the cargo I need. That's nice. Okay, now we need to get it out there. So I gotta think of a budget. Once it's in low orbit, it takes, I again did some working out, 1,270 meters per second. Clearly I wrote that down. So I want to give it a budget of, I want to give this thing a delta V of about 1,000 meters per second more than that so it can finish off the orbital insertion too. So we're looking at around 1,300 meters per second for this thing. So let's see what we can do. So we'll put on a decoupler. Guess we can just go straight into some fuel tanks. Got some 1.875 meter fuel tanks. I don't think this will be enough. Probably a Terrier on the bottom. Let's see what that does for me. Get up there, you. How did I just lose the decoupler? It vamoosed. It vamoosed. Off the staging diagram. How'd that happen? I've never had that happen before. That makes me nervous, so I'm going to actually get rid of this. Put on a new decoupler. That's weird. Okay, put that back, put that back. Fix that. When I dragged it up here, it disappeared. And move this to vacuum. Okay, that's not nearly enough delta V, so bigger tank. You know, I should just stick with this and just keep adding these ones and then replace it. This is going to be quicker. Again, I'm aiming for about 2300. I'm up to 1682. Still a healthy TWR. Do I have some sort of an adapt? Ooh, that's the one I'm looking for. Hey, there we go. That's got me over my budget. Is it? 2000. I wanted 22. Oh no, a little more. A little bit more. What if I used a couple of these dumpling fellas? Or maybe 22. I'm looking 22 to. What is this? That thing has. How much fuel's in that? Maybe that one. I'm into the fiddling stage already. That's great. 22, 23. I don't like the look of that. Let's throw you away. 2236. I'm gonna go with that. 2236. That's good. Can we make this look a little decent? I like these little strut things. That's ReStock doing that. On local, we'll kind of tuck these in. A little bit of part clipping, I suppose, but you know, you gotta do's what you gots to do's. I think that looks okay. We'll build a fairing around it. That's good. We also have to put on RCS, so let's think about RCS. RCS. Oh, don't be sorry, NC Davis. That is absolutely fine. Nobody needs to be sorry around here. Let's see. I'm debating whether I like what I did, or do I want to do this instead. I think I might do this instead. Change those to the silver one and just leave them like that. We can build a... Okay, I'm really getting way too concerned about aesthetics. I also should replace this. Because that's... For goodness sakes, come here. With that, with this guy. That's the same size, but it's just one. There we go. We'll do this, do this, do this, do this. Stop playing. There. That's done. Okay, monopropellant. Monopropellant. So what do we got? We got these little Stratus 5 minified monopropellant tanks rather than the big ones. I do like these. They're... What are they? They're a fraction of the size. Quarter of the size. Quarter? No, not quite a quarter, but what if I put on like 3 of those? They're 7.5 each. That will get me 15, 22 points. That should be fine. That should be fine. You know what? I'm going back. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible human being. Do that. 2 of these. That's 15. There. I'm done. No more playing. Stop it. 2246. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Really, this is pretty much the core of the vehicle. I think that's going to work out pretty all right. So we'll put on some lights. And we'll switch these to white. This is the port side. So we shall color you red. And this is the starboard side. So we'll remove some symmetry. We'll color you green. We'll put some flashy lights down here. These will, no, keep them black, but we're going to make them blinky. Blink on, and I'm going with two-way symmetry, so there'll be one on the other side. Over here, see, so we got blinky lights on both sides, and just to mark the dorsal side, we will take this guy, remove the symmetry, and increase the blink, and change him to a little more orange. Did I do that? I did do that. Okay. So blinky, blinky, blinkies. I'm think I'm pretty good with that. Let's tuck this away. We're gonna build this thing, build a booster. Might just leave him goldy. Kind of matches the gold that's down below here. And maybe take, oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. To see if I can tweak them in a bit. Oh, I haven't put RCS blocks on there. That would be a good plan. No, I like black better. Black, black, black. Black. Okay. Okay. It's like, it's okay. What's my TWR? I should be 0.86. That's fine. Okay. So there's our basic ship. What is this? This is the fixer tug dudes. That's the name of the company. Where am I at? 22. Yeah, I'm still pretty good. Okay, so what we want to do is get this into orbit. I'm pretty sure. I'm just making sure I haven't thruster blocks. We need to have thruster blocks on here for RCS. We put on the monopropellant, but I didn't put any thruster blocks on. So I'm going to put in center mass. Now this thing will lose some fuel, but you know what? Forget it. I don't care. We're gonna just eyeball this the best we can. And I really like there's the RV-105 thruster blocks, which are the big ones, but I really like these little ones at a 1/10 of their it's 1/10 the thrust of the bigger ones, and way lighter and use way less monopropellant, and I am a huge fan of those, and I don't understand why I need more. I don't. Okay, let's put the mass on. I want to just center these sort of around the mass. Can we get back, maybe get these up on the capsule a little bit? I'm sure it'll be fine. And the other thing I did it without saying it, is I took away the yaw, pitch, and roll, because you don't need them for attitude control, because there are reaction wheels, yes there are, in the command capsule, so attitude control is not necessary. You only care about lateral movement. There we go. That's good. Okay. TWR is still good. Okay, let's, I don't even think I'm going to use, let's put on an engine plate, he says with some trepidation. Will the engine plate, oh, you do it the other way. No, the engine plate's not going to help me. So what I want to do is get a TD-12 decoupler. Take that off. I'm just thinking of cleaning this little section. Take the shroud off. I'll use a fairing base for that. A 1.25 meter fairing. Oh no, it's going to have to be a 0.875 meter fairing base. And then we'll kind of come around here and close that off a little bit, just to clean that. That looks, I think, fine. Put that engine with that. Okay. What we need for a total budget here, 1270, 36, 30, doing math in my head, 36 and 12 is 48, call it 49, getting closer to 5,000 maybe. 49 and a half, 5,000. Now I'm already on the 1.875 meter size for these tanks, so why don't I stick with that? What do I got for, I got the Bobcat engine. I think the Bobcat's a suitable launch engine. I'm looking for a oh my god, total, I've already, I'm closer to 5. Now I got a lot of thrust, so we can put on a couple more of these guys. There we go. Maybe go a little smaller here. 48, maybe a little more than that. Again, flying from the seat of my pants. 52, 49, 50. You know what? Better to go big and have too much than it is to... There we go. You know why I want them that way. What... Oh, wait. Take this little one off. There we go. So we got a total of 5,054 meters per second at delta V. That should be plenty. Do I have any sort of... Now I'm into texturing. We seem to be going... We can go just white there. What happens if we put this guy on the dark options? Flip you upside down. Make that white. What do you think? She's stumpy. She's a stumpy fella. A little bit of control fins on the bottom. Solar panels. Thank you. Solar panels. Just looking over at the chat, going, what did I forget? Solar panels. 100% solar panels. In fact, here I'm going to use Kerbal Engineer tells me I have 200 units of electric charge. Maybe put on some batteries too. Thank you for the solar panel suggestion. I'm just going to go with some of these. Well, that's really all I got are the oxstats there. And for batteries, I only just put on just a few of these dudes. A couple of more of these. That'll do it. This won't change the delta V too much, I don't think. Nope. And what do I got for reaction wheels? I do have the bigger reaction wheels. The issue I'm going to sneak them here. That they're a 1.25 meter size, so I'm going to put them there, and then I got to, of course, rebuild the fairing. Oh, I'm not sure why this is being like this. Close. Does not like what I'm doing. Oh, it's probably the thruster blocks right there that it... Oh, I saw it close. I saw it. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. Okay. I need blinky lights. I got blinky lights on it. There are blinky lights. I think this might work. I just realized I never did put... I do have now the... launch escape system, but nah, it's not going to look right up there anyway. So we'll just go with this. Val and Bill don't need the launch escape system. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I still don't have. Do I have any kind of action groups? It's not weird. I can click on that and get action. I shouldn't have this, but I'm going to put the fairing on an action group. I'm also going to take the fairing, put it on clamshell deploy, put it up to a few pieces. Turn up the ejection force, and we'll just take it right out of the staging diagram. Other than that, I think let's just go. Why not? Let's just go. Launch thrust away. Oh, it's a little low. She's a little low. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Okay, that didn't really get thought through too well. I don't think I have a better engine than that. I mean, I can get into the... Oh, what's this? The Kodiak engine. Wait a minute. I might have a better... No, I don't have a better engine. I mean, I do have the mainsail engines, but they're the 2.5 meter parts. Let's stick with the... Okay. What I'm going to need to do... Scale this down a little bit, because the launch thrust to weight was a little on the low side. Oh, I'm going to have to make you super stumpy. And then we'll go with some radial. There we go. And then we'll go with... Oh, me no like. Oh, well. Sorry, emergency change of plans here. We'll get a couple of these guys. No, those are too big. And we'll just give her some liquid fuel radial boosters. Maybe with, whoops, why 2 of those? Silly. There we go. And maybe with some, does this have gimbals on it? It does. So maybe with some reliance on there. Push those off, I'm sure. And then some asparagus staging. Like that. That's getting pretty close. Hopefully I should have a ton of thrust now on the bottom end. Yeah, we can make these boosters a little bit taller. That. That's actually a little too much. That's it. Okay, and slanty nose cones. I have the pointy nose cones, not the slanted nose cones. I always forget what I've unlocked with each. We'll just go with the regular nose cone on the top. Okay. Oh. Meant to hit you. There we go. So put all 3 engines on at the same time. That gets me the delta V I need. Now I can turn down the thrust on these radial dudes. I want to get going, so I'm not going to bother with putting on separate. I don't even know if I have separatrons or anything like that. Let's launch thrust. Oh my gosh, this is going to be. These are really getting turned down. Overkill, because the top, yep. And not really making much use of those engines, but I'm just going to go for it. Okay, that. Launch clamps. Let's do it. One last look at delta V. 5033 should be fine. Okay. It's kind of cute. We'll see. See what happens. Save. Let's go. Let's go. No such thing as too much delta V. Extra relays antennas are in there, Rom. I'm pretty sure. I'll check the cargo once again once we're there, and I bloody well better have my engineer aboard. Let's just check cargo once again. I have an extra HG5 antenna. I have my repair kits. And otherwise, I think I am good. As long as she flies, we should be okay. The sun's just about to set. We can go for it. And again, this thing's adorable. Again, this is a launch, unless it all goes wrong, in which case it's a test. That's always always what I give at the beginning of this. Okay, we're off. We're off, we're off, we're off. Knocking that over. Lots of good attitude control on that with those extra reaction wheels. That's nice. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Kind of maybe wants to flip out a little bit, I just noticed. Just lock it around the prograde vector. Try and get that onto 90. Get some of that orbital data showing up. It's fallen over a little bit on the quick side. I'm a little worried about its aerodynamic stability. It is falling over very quickly. I knocked it over too much. So I'm just trying to keep it from falling over too much, but I'm also worried about it flipping out on me. We're very low. Thankfully, I think... Whoa, whoa, whoa. We just lost those dudes. Yeah, it seems to be doing okay. Keep it kind of a little high. I'm pitching up a little bit above the prograde vector just to sort of... I think I'm a little low into atmosphere. Okay. My worries about it flipping out are now gone. I can actually start reducing throttle here a little bit. Things have calmed down a little bit now. Yeah, I knew I was a little... See, I'm starting to get a little bit of heating effects. It's not a big deal, really. I think the game's heating effects are a little exaggerated. Not like we're hurting anything. But I am keeping, again, pitched up a little bit. A little bit of an angle of attack happening here. Or up a little higher in the atmosphere. Thankfully, I do think it's overbuilt, so... Oh, look at that. I think we're okay. Actually, if you watch the Starship launch last week, and who the heck didn't watch that? There was definitely a point where you could see it had a... It was doing what I'm doing here. You could tell it wasn't at the altitude it wanted to be, and it was pitched up a little bit and had a little bit of an angle of attack. First sign that things were perhaps not optimal. But oh my gosh, it was fun to watch. Okay. Yeah, I do love this whole... Oh, notice how it actually... I should watch what I'm doing. Oh, shoot! Oh, okay. I forgot to stage the fairing. Turns out that didn't matter. I had a little bit of a panic stage there because the main booster had run out. And I'd forgot to stage the fairing before I did that, but it seemed to have cleared anyway. So that's fine. I'm going to lock it on prograde now. I think we're okay. Oh, are those like... Do you see this? Are those like lightning bolts? Or a glitch? Are they meant to show like a thunderstorm? I gotta look this up if this is a thing. I'm hoping everybody can see this on the stream, but there is a whole lot of flashing going on around here. If that is meant to be a thunderstorm in progress, that is pretty cool. And I'm really starting to think, because it's localized just to this area, that is exactly what's happening there. And I'm getting distracted. I need to watch my apoapsis. It's a bug. Don't tell me it's a bug. That's a thunderstorm. I don't want to hear that's a bug. Alright, so I think we're doing pretty good here. Oh, almost getting my orbit already. Apoapsis is not quite at 80. 80. There we go. We'll cut that. Little low in the atmosphere, so we're going to lose a little bit of... Well, there's some more flashing. It could be a bug. I don't want it to be, though. Valentina pulled it through. Just got to get back up. We're losing a little bit of altitude on the apoapsis. That's okay. We'll deal with that in just a bit. Remember, I budgeted 1,270 meters per second for this mission, and I got 1609, and we're almost at an orbital velocity, so we got plenty of fuel. Okay, we are in orbit. Let's get to our apoapsis. Or not in orbit, I'm sorry, we're in space. Almost in orbit. We have a Yuri Gagarin orbit with our periapsis still in the atmosphere. Very close to an orbit. John is saying in one of the Soviet flights they had thunderstorm as a code word, and then somebody saw a thunderstorm and said thunderstorm. Activated the code word by mistake. That's pretty funny. Okay, I can get closer. Okay, almost at... Yeah, let's just do this. Just about in orbit. Good's enough. Okay, so... let's get ourselves out there. So we're in an 80 by 80 orbit, and our target... I guess we gotta show it. Turn the relays off. Turn that satellite on. So... this is our target. Let's get out there. It is a little bit inclined, as you can see. And, well, I guess I can tell how much the inclination is looking here. A 1.5 degree inclination. But that shouldn't be too problematic. Let's see if we can just get straight out there. And I'm just sort of guesstimating. Of course, we are playing chicken with the moon too. I don't like that. Why the game? And it does this pretty often. And you would think we're getting a moon encounter here. And it's not that the moon encounter is necessarily that big a deal, but when an orbit like this satellite is this close to the moon, I'm sure it's drifting into the moon's SOI right around here where it's really close. It's just a matter of time till the moon grabs this guy and yanks him somewhere. And it really bugs me. They shouldn't, you know, because you could be sitting there and planning this all out, and then when you go to look, I had this happen to me on a previous live stream. You go to look and suddenly moon's saying, nah, now it's in this orbit. This is going to be... the moon is really messing with me here. Okay, let's push ahead in orbit and see if the next time around, maybe a couple of orbits. That's the solution, is just go ahead orbits so that the moon has a chance to get out of the way. Except the moon's saying, no, I don't want to get out of the way. Okay, let's see if we can... Okay, 1, 2, 3 orbits. Is that going to get the moon out of our way? Yes. Okay. No. Oh my god. Okay, just wait. I can get this to work. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orbits in the future. Wow. Okay. We're gonna get this to work one way or another, but it's just exceedingly annoying. See, we get a little bit of retrograde, and there's the moon coming at us again, and a little bit of changing the timing. Nope, that's worse with the moon. Oh, it's getting worse with each orbit. That's what's going on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 orbits in the future. Sorry, Val and Bill, but you're gonna have to spend a little bit of time. That's what's happening, is the moon is... And it's because the orbit of our satellite is so close to the moon's orbit, the moon is taking a long time to get the frick out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, I could technically use the moon to my advantage, but I just honestly don't want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 orbits in the future again. Ha! I shouldn't get ahead of myself. There we go. So you just need to come out into the future here. That's okay. So you can see we got a bit of a change to make here, but that's okay too. A little bit more on the apoapsis. What's our separation out here? It's of course a lot. But we'll have to make a correction on the way out. Let's play with the timing. Yeah. We're just going to do this. We're going to do what I'm seeing. As he continues to play. I'll do it. We'll fix the rest with a... We're as you can see here, we're a little bit above because of the inclination difference. But let's just do this. Let's just do it. Okay. And we'll put this on the view here. And yeah, we should just... So unfortunately, we're 4 days and 2 hours into the future for this burn. That's a bit annoying. So we're going to have to... I should have put out a seizure warning before pushing that button. Surface deployed mystery goo observation. Surface deployed mystery goo observation. I think a contract just got completed. So while I was time warping those 4 days, I think our surface deployed mystery goo had deployed that. We deployed that last episode. I think it deployed enough science for us to finish this contract. Yep. Right? Has generated successfully transmitted that many back to Kerbal. Isn't that a contract? Okay, we'll have to deal with that in a little bit. Let's see. Okay. So, like I said, though, it's so close to the moon's orbit, at least the transfer out to the moon is going to be trivial. 3, 7, 6. Why did I say 3 first, though? I don't know. 3, 2, 1, and go. There we go. We're off. We're off. Valentina's got this. Off. I have to look at my contracts in a bit because I had a contract to transmit like 50% of the available mystery goo science. Perhaps that wasn't 50%. Perhaps that was just some transmit that it did. Quick save, says NC Davis. Yeah, we'll quick save. Well, now after this burn is done. I quick saved just before I did that, all that time warping. I like my stumpy little ship, though. You know, it might have been smarter, because it's kind of stumpy, is I could have scaled down to a 2.5 meter part in the middle here. Made a little thinner in the middle. That might have been a little sleeker looking, I think. And then gone with a 2.5 meter booster, so that whole thing wasn't so stumpy. But, heck, it's getting the job done. It's getting the job done. That's all you need. Now, I do have a target. I don't know if I'll end up seeing rendezvous data or not. We're coming to close to the end of this burn. Reduce throttle. Oh, I'm starting to see some flaking in and out rendezvous data. Ah, I see it. So let's minimize the rendezvous data if I can. Oh, went too far. I saw it down under 300, so I'm going to use back off a little bit with the RCS here. 400 kilometer separation. 299. Oh, there it is. 291 kilometer separation. Okay, put this on normal. Now, we're on our way out here. Oh, I wanted to check contracts. That's what it was, because I thought you have an engineer. I'm all good for that, but I had a different contract for bringing Surface deployed mystery. It says here, oh, it's at 10%. Oh, so that little chunk of transmitting was just 10% of the 50%. Okay, that's going to take a while. Fine, be that way. Be that way. All right, we got to do a correction on our way out there. It's always the correction. You do it halfway. I'm going to bring this down. You can see that that is having that effect. Would it have been better if I did it sooner or earlier or something like that? Sooner or later? No? Back? Oh, I think I'm pretty good where I was. Okay. Now I can see here I'm missing by a bit, so I'm thinking radial to change the timing. I think so, yeah. Like that. Again, a little bit of... Oh, that's too much normal. Just a little bit. You can always tell, just gotta get the DN in around where all the action's happening there. Get all that stuff in around the same place, and then you are doing it right. Now, I think I might need to give a little bit of prograde. You can get a little bit of a lot of things happening here. A little bit of normal. Turn the scale down a bit. I'm not doing much differences. So I see 120. And I can get out there and tweak this even further. When you're far away from the parent body, actually this is a good thing to do in the, I think in this stream is a long distance rendezvous. So I'm about 105 kilometers separation. You're not going to get the, you know, really close separations that you're used to doing in low Kerbal orbit, but I'll keep playing with it. So I did a little bit of normal there. Let's try a little bit of prograde, retrograde, down to 80, 70, 60, 50, 40. Oh, starting to go back up. Then we'll try a little radial, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Radial doesn't make much of a difference. A little bit of normal again. 38, 40. I think I'm getting probably about as close as I'm going to. Yeah. 33 kilometer separation. That's good for now. Okay. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to quick save. And we're going to time warp out there, and I'm going to try and do a better job of reading the chat, is what I'm going to do. How do you collect 50% of the mystery goo? It happens automatically in the background with that deployed mystery goo experiment. Oh, you know what I didn't put on for these fellas is an antenna. So they might lose communication back home. Oh well, life's like that sometimes. So it's happening automatically in the background over time. So far it has transmitted, if I go back to here, where was it? Here. 10%. So I'm probably going to hear another one of those wonky dilly things, the dial-up internet thing, at some point. And then it'll be another 10%, and that happens 5 times, and I'll be at 50%. So, and we deployed that last episode for those that wonder. Okay, I should really get ready for this burn, shouldn't I? This isn't a time-critical burn. So we'll put it on the maneuver node. This maneuver node has a lot of everything happening to it. So what I really want to do is just bring down this closest approach distance. So I'm going to just burn very slowly. And I'm watching this intersect distance here, and it should be starting to come down. It's right now coming up. That's a little discouraging, but I should see it come down. I mean, we worked it out. We plotted this. Still going up. Now it's coming back down. Back on that maneuver node a little. Now it's really coming down. And... cut right there. It's at 54 kilometer closest approach. Now I'll put on RCS, give a little puffs with the RCS. 34 kilometers, 33 kilometers. Get it as low as I can here. Under, oh, just got under 30, and that was going to be the end of that. Okay. So position this fellow for the solar panels once again. I should keep an eye on my monopropellant. I still got a lot. So it's okay. That's the joy of these itsy bitsy little thruster blocks. They just sip the monopropellant. Okay, so we got nice exposure for the solar panels. We got this rendezvous coming up in a day and 2 hours. So I'm gonna go F5 again, and I'm gonna turn off my communication line so I'm not reminded of just how bad that is. And we'll time warp to around. Actually, what's a better idea is use the alarm clock. Why not use the alarm clock? Create an alarm for this maneuver and give me like 5 minutes warning on the maneuver. No future maneuvers. No, that is very true. How about the... Oh, it doesn't do that! Oh, I'm thinking of the alarm clock. Okay, fine. Be that way. Fine. Not going to do an alarm. We'll just time warp up to here like this. Warp up to here. I wonder if we're going to completely lose our signal. Well, thank you, Nate. I appreciate that. I do a lot of flapping about, I will say that, in my games. Okay, so my intersect is still 3 hours away. Oh, thank you, Nate. Thank you very much for the kind donation. It's always appreciated. And I'm going to try not to over time warp. So I'm going to time warp till I'm about 5 minutes from my target. And then we'll assess. Okay, 9 minutes from the target. Put this on target. Put this on retrograde relative to the target. And our encounter speed with the target is still very large. Here we are. Because, like, we're kind of going pretty slow here, but it's... Actually, no, yeah. It's catching up to us in its orbit. So we're going to have to be adding up speed. But let's see. I can see here that the retrograde vector is off from the target icon. So I'm going to try pushing it this way. And see if that... See, oh, no, that does not bring down my speed. What if I go this way? That doesn't bring down the speed either. So you gotta be willing to kind of play with this a little bit. Ah, that's bringing it down. No, it's not. I'm gonna let myself get closer so I can see what to do. So let's get to a few minutes away from the target. Because our paths are curved, this isn't necessarily, the retrograde isn't necessarily supposed to be on there. But as you get closer, it should be on there. So let's see, 5 minutes. 4 minutes from the target. Still got a crazy speed, so I definitely want to... Okay, let's see if I can reduce this. So, although that's increasing my intersect distance, it is reducing my speed. I probably should just go this way and... I want to knock off some of this speed. Oh, it's changing my intersect time by a huge amount. You know what's the other thing you can do? Oh, I've completely botched this. Okay, never mind. Let's get closer. I'm not letting myself get close enough is what the problem is. Let's get closer. The target is somewhere that way. The other thing you could do, and maybe I should have done it, was actually just put a maneuver node. Okay, my target icon just switched. It is now... Okay. That's not good. Let's do this. The target icon just switched, so I'm just kind of burning right at it. I'm going to do this by looking at this. These close encounter indicators are so... You can do this by just, you know... Now it's 26 minutes away. No, this way. Let's do this with a maneuver node. I think it's smarter. That's way too much. That's obviously not going to work. Poop. I might have botched this a little bit. Okay, it's bringing down the distance and it's bringing down the speed. So let's just keep doing that. Let's What's my orbit like the other way? It's fine. I let the target get ahead of me. That was a mistake. Remember, I did do the quick save. That's the wrong icon. Uh-oh, what was the wrong icon that I was looking at? Uh-oh. I might have just botched it up. I might need to have to go over the replay footage. Okay, I can see here I need to burn more. 'Cause eventually I need to match orbits. I'm doing okay. I might need to do a quick save, or... Yeah, I think I might go back to my quick save, because I just botched this. Or at least I'm going to spend so much fuel doing this, I got to worry about... Yeah. Let's cut. Back to that quick save. Resume flight. Cut. Oh, cut that way. There we go. Do this smarter. Do this smarter. Do it smarter. Okay, so where are we here? So here we are. We're coming up to our encounter. The smarter way to do this, turn that off, is if you just come up here and just put a maneuver nearby, especially with these really big encounter speeds. I mean, what you're going to need to eventually do is match orbits anyway. So if you just make a burn that will match the orbit, and just keep an eye on those close encounter indicators, make sure they just don't get too far apart, you're going to be fine. See, so I can see. There we go. That's all you got to do. Where's my... Let's make this... Let's do this the smart way instead of the dumb way. How's that for a thought? Okay, and you can play again with the timing a little bit. See if... Yeah, I can... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come back. I'm seeing a moon encounter. That's always not a cool thing. And at the very least, what you can do... Yeah, I think I'm just going to do this. So if I do this burn, I can still see I got a 30-kilometer separation coming up. But what's nice about this is that then my relative speed relative to the target, because our orbits will be so close, will be trivial. I'm just going to do it this way. So F5. Is this... Nope. Up that up. Go. Yeah, I was trying to do it freehand, and that was a bad plan. And some people like to do their rendezvous this way, like, all the time, which is fine, like by setting up a maneuver node. But this will knock off most of this relative velocity with my target, and then you can literally just drive to it. I don't even know how far away the target is. I don't see him yet. But I'm going to do this first. So we're on the maneuver node. There's... I don't know. Oh, I'm not within the render distance of it yet, of course. Okay. 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, and a 2, and a 1. Go. So this is going to mess up this closest approach a little bit, but the more important thing is it's going to... Oh, that's my orbital speed, not my target speed. I should put that on target speed. There we go. It's really bringing down that target speed. And I'm cut a little early. Let's not look at it. Okay, so now my target speed with my target is only 24 meters per second, and now what I can do is push this retrograde icon towards that icon. So I'm just going to come over here. That should be bringing down my closest approach. Oh, I lost it. That's what's going to happen. It's okay. Come back again. Okay, and there it is. Now, that's still, well, I guess I could wait for that 54 minutes. We're just approaching at such a low speed, 9 meters per second. But yeah, why don't we just do that? That was much easier. F5. Actually, I don't have to watch from here because I got all the information I need here. We should be seeing a waypoint for it pretty soon. We're about 5 minutes away. Might need to hit F4. F4? I can see my retrograde icon is really drifted off here, so we're going to push that back towards it, bringing this distance down even further. So not the sleekest of rendezvous, but it's getting the job done. Okay, this is pointing straight at the craft, so I'm surprised I'm not seeing it yet. I can push with kerbals, is the comment. I still have a lot of fuel. I mean, all this thing has to do, once this is all done, is deorbit. And if they don't have the fuel for that, I guess I messed up somewhere and we'll just, we'll have to do our daring rescue. I would prefer not to have to do that. Okay, according to this, we're about 1.5 minutes away. Where on Earth? F4? There it is! It's so easy to just have that toggled off and miss the fact that it's... That's F4, by the way, for those people that don't know. Okay, so we're only 1 minute and 20 seconds away, but from here on it's pretty easy. Our approach speed is pretty slow. We can push that retrograde vector onto the target, or the anti-target icon. I might have gotten my icons mixed up last time. And... get in a little closer. And I really like to watch this time. Time to intercept. As long as I can keep that from getting down to 0, then everything is well in hand. And I can just sort of, every once in a while, just do a little tweak. Push that back towards the target again. Look at my time, 40 seconds from target. Nothing nothing stressful. What's my view on? Put it on auto. There we go. Oh, I can start to see it now. If I take it away, yeah, you can start to see this thing. So you'll get to look at this ugly thing. Let's slow down a bit more. So close I can probably start using, if I put on my RCS, I can move that retrograde icon around with my RCS. I'm moving so slowly. You do gotta be a little careful with the main engine because you can, the exhaust will blow this around if you let yourself get too close and burn too hard. Alright. So I'm looking at the time. Let's just aim right at it. We're coming up from below. The sun's in the way. Don't be like that, sun. So we'll just use RCS from here on in. We're coming in nicely. I can use RCS to keep that prograde, or keep the icon on top of the target, slowing down with the N button. Maybe come a little bit to the side, because I actually don't want to drive up its nether regions, do I? I want to come a little bit to the side here, a little. So I'm intentionally pushing the prograde icon off of the target here, so we'll come up beside it. This looks ducky. And then once we're up beside it, we'll just sort of press N and slow ourselves down for a nice little park job there. I feel like I've redeemed myself a little bit. So I'm just going to zero this right out. So my speed relative to the target there is 0. We'll turn off RCS. Val is going to be a sweetheart, and she's going to turn the hatch towards the target so Bill can go out there. Now, all Bill has to do is repair an OX-4L solar panel. You can see there's one of them here, but there are somewhere, there it is, there's a broken one. See that? So what we got to do is get Bill. We'll open up our cargo containers menu here. Let's move this over. And Bill needs to get one of these repair kits and replace his parachute with it. And oh, that ain't gonna, okay, okay. He's gonna grab all the kits because he needs somewhere to put his parachute. The one thing you never want to get rid of is your EVA pack. That would be bad. We have too many things happening. There, close that. There we go. So Bill's gonna EVA. RCS on. Oh, let go. RCS on. Lights on. Okay, where is that? And all he has to do, he has now the, if I open up the cargo menu, that's this one, he's got the repair kits with him. So all he has to do, actually he might even not even needed to have the repair kits with him, is I'm pretty sure just right click on this. Come on. It's just a little nub. Not the probe body. There, the panel's there, and it says repair. Takes one repair kit to repair, so we hit repair. And there it is, it's repaired, and our contract has gone green. Pretty sure Bill can now extend that solar panel. Is that going to hit the ship? Nope. Now, is there another repair he's going to have to do? Nope, that looks like it, because on this side, there is one of those HG5 antennas, and you can see here, oh, these are mystery goos. There is a monoprop can on the top. I don't know why there are mystery goos on here. And then there are these big RCS thruster blocks. So this thing has enough delta V for it to get itself to the moon easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach the other HG Actually, why don't we do that right now? I'm just looking at it. I can do this. Already into next week mode, but I should just do this now. So to attach it, I just got to get Bill close enough here. Open up the construction menu like that. Notice how Bill grabs his little laser tool, laser welder. And as long as he's close enough to both the satellite and the cargo in here, we can see this. So all I got to do is grab the antenna, and I'm just going to stick it on the opposite side right there. And Bill's going to weld that for me. Oh, I guess he's done with the welding. Can now close this. Didn't see the little laser. And then we can extend that antenna. So now this thing has 2 antennas. Bill, you've done your job. That's fine. That means it'll be a great relay. In you go. I love the EVA construction tool. I think that's one of the best things that they added to this game. So we're going to come back to here. So this is now our relay. It has enough delta V to move it. Now what's interesting about this is if I turn this on, this is an advanced probe body. I've yet to look at it. It's got locked all the different vectors. This is what is this one? This is the Hex 2 probe body. It's a lot. So we're going to use these RCS blocks to propel the thing. So I'm going to go into the RCS blocks. I'm going to go to show actuation toggles. I'm not going to use the yaw, pitch, and roll because as you can see, this thing has no problem with yaw, pitching, and rolling without RCS blocks, so we're disabling that. I'm not going to ever use this to move sideways, so we're disabling the port, starboard, and the dorsal ventral. I'm going to keep on the forward and aft because I do eventually want this thing to drive forward and backwards. And we're also going to turn on forward by throttle, which means that if I put on RCS, which I'm just not going to do right yet, if I can put the throttle up and down, and that will actually control the RCS if I put on RCS, which I didn't do because I don't want to drive this thing just yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this thing and we're going to bring it to the moon. It's all set to go. It's going to make a great relay. It's going to be our third relay about the moon. But unfortunately, looking at the time of the stream, that's going to have to be for next week. So I am going to save Trav. Don't worry, because I'm ending this stream for now. But I'm going to thank everybody that's in the chat. I'm going to thank everybody that's watching this at a later date. And of course, I'm going to... Oh, don't forget to do the other thruster blocks. Did they not all go at the same time? Probably not. No. Okay, thank you. I was in the middle of my thank yous, and I think there's 3. 1, 2. That would have been an embarrassing forward on that, and that one forward by throttle. Okay. All right, there we go. They're all fixed. So getting back, thank you to everybody in the chat, especially to, who was it there that said, don't forget to change those? Thank you, Robbie B. Thank you, Robbie B, for reminding me of that. But of course, thanks to everybody who's watching this at a later date. And of course, a very, very, very special thank you to all of my Patreon patrons and YouTube members. Oh, someone's suggesting to take the mystery goose off. Yeah, I might do that as well. That's a good idea, Near. But I know this thing has a ton of Delta V, so I'm not worried about it. Thank you, everybody. We will see you all next week. Bye, everyone.